This video is brought to you by Sim Racing Center. Today, we're going to be showing you the fastest way around the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It is, of course, the US Grand Prix. We have the Hotlap sent over by Sim Racing Center, and we're riding on board with F1 esports driver Luke Smith. Let's see what the Hotlap has in store for us. Heading down into turn one, dropping it down into third gear as you rise up the hill and then get it nicely on the apex. Now going through turn two, rise up through the gears, get the car over to the right-hand side to really flow through the first two corners of the S's. Then brake a little bit for the second one and for the third. Get the car back over for the fourth apex. Get it over to the left again through these S's section. Just getting the gears right. Fifth gear through here. Easy on the throttle and then easy on the gearing as well. Up into sixth gear. Now seventh. Heading down into another big braking zone. Keep it in seventh for this gear. Drop it down into fourth and get the car over to the left-hand side. Get a nice exit off this corner. It's very important as this is going to be a great opportunity to overtake come race day. Keep the car as right as you possibly can to gain all the lap time as you brake before the 100-meter board. Use a little bit of curb on the right-hand side. Don't touch the yellow sausage curbs on the exit, though, as you can easily lose momentum over those. Get it through the stadium section. Get the car over to the right-hand side and brake in a straight line, ready for this next corner. Get it nice and tidy. Use the camber on the inside to help you through there. Then flat out all the way through the long right hand. If you get the line right, it will be flat out, and just cut the second apex ever so slightly. Little dab of the brake as you head through the penultimate corner. Use the exit curb on the right hand side. Again, another dab of brake. Use the inside corner and get the car straightened up as you go to the line. And that is a lap around the US GP. Now, that was very fast. This was on board with an F1 esports driver. I could barely talk over that lap. So now we're going to break it down even further and show you where you may be losing time to others online. Now, this is going to be your braking reference for turn one. You can see the 50-meter board up ahead. It's not the clearest of braking references, but you want to be braking around the 75-meter mark. Get it down into third gear and use all the apex on the right-hand side. Keep the car over to the right and go through turn two there. Then get it back over to the right to really maximize your entry through the first of the S's. Flat out through those. And then when you get to this stage, just a little dab of brake. Another dab of brake as you go through this next corner through the right-hander. As you can see, really hugging all of the apex on the right-hand side. Get it tucked over for the second right of that double apex corner. As you keep it on the right-hand side, you want to be dabbing the brake where the green AstroTurf starts to begin. And then get it over to the left-hand side. You're in fifth gear. Dab a brake once again just to get the car turned in for this next right-hander. Easy on throttle as you exit those two corners. And now you can go flat out, rise through the gears and get it over to the right-hand side. Braking again around the 75-meter marker board around here. Dropping down from 7th gear. Keep it in 7th gear. No need to shift up into 8th. But keep it in 7th gear. Drop down into 4th for the apex. Don't take too much curb on the inside. You really want to focus on the exit. Now, as I said, keep the car to the right-hand side as much as you possibly can. Of course, if you are in a race scenario, do what's ever best to overtake your opponent ahead of you. Braking here at about 125 meters before the corner. It's a tricky braking zone, this one. Hard on the brakes, and you want to be using as much of that inside curb as you can get away with as well. Don't use too much of the exit because those yellow sausage curbs will unsettle the car. Get it back over to the left and braking around this area again. No real brake marker boards to really give you a clear indication of when to brake through those corners. Get it back over to the right for the stadium section. And again, just trying to brake in as much of a straight line as you possibly can. It's very difficult when braking whilst turning a corner, but you've just got to do the best job you can through there. Now, foot to the floor all the way through this corner. Cut the second apex as much as you can, and you should be able to take that corner flat. Little dab of brake around this section of the circuit. Throw the car in to the left. Use the curb on the inside and again on the outside, but be careful not to invalidate. This is going to be your braking reference for the final corner. You can see that white line up ahead. Braking before the pit entry line. Use the curb on the inside. Use a little bit on the outside as well. And there we go. That is a lap of the Circuit of the Americas. Now, before we get into the setup, let's just have a little word on today's sponsors, Sim Racing Center. Sim Racing Center offers the best and latest F1 22 league racing setups to make sure your car is running as fast as it can. Combined with the race preparations they sell, which shows tire, data, the best strategy, and a lot more more to ensure you will slap the competition and be on top of your game. With these products, all you need to do is focus on your driving. If that's something you struggle with though, get a one-to-one coaching session with esports or esport academy drivers. Sim Racing Center also offers race engineers like you have seen on the League Racing series that I run on this channel, who will help you live during the race with your best strategy. Now, this is a company that I use for all of my setups. When it comes to setting up the car, I'm absolutely clueless. So these guys point me in the right direction to go as fast as I possibly can. And if you want to stay up to date with the best setups, make sure you use the code Hayden at checkout for 10% off. Now let's take a look at the setup that is going to make you go even quicker and beat your friends on F1 22. Starting off with the wings, 30 on the front wing, 26 on the rear wing. This is going to help you have as much straight line speed as possible, but of course, there's a lot of corners around here which you're going to need that downforce for. 60, 51 on the differential, not really too dissimilar to what we have seen around other circuits on this game. As for the suspension geometry, this is what we see all the time. Right, right, left, left on the camber, on the toe. As for suspension, 3-1 on the front and rear suspension. On the anti-roll bars going 4-1, and on the front ride height it's 11 with rear ride height at 5. That's going to help you get through the corners, but also use as much of the curbs as possible without bottoming out the car. On the brakes, we're going for 100% brake pressure, 50% as per usual. And as for the tyres, all on minimum tyre pressures. This is going to help you to reduce as much tyre wear as possible in the races, but also not overheat your tyres and struggle with losing grip. And there we go. That is the hot lap and setup for the US GP. Big thank you to today's sponsors, Sim Racing Center, for sending us over the hot lap, the setup, and of course for sponsoring this video. Make sure you go check them out for 10% off. But that would do for today's video. Subscribe to the channel for more hot laps and setups, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.